And the khulasa and essence of Surah Fatiha is one verse in Surah Fatiha where Allah says, Iyaka na'bud wa iyaka nasta'in. That, Ya Allah, only you we worship. And when Allah speaks of ibadat, first thing, what does Allah speak? Iyaka na'bud, Ya Allah, only you we worship, wa iyaka nasta'in. And Ya Allah, only you we beg or we make dua to or we ask for help. So ibadat and dua is inextricably linked. And I remember a few years ago, our Jamaat was working here in Transvaal, and we met one of the Akabirin. He passed away in Allah for his qabarul nur. And he told our Jamaat this. He said that go and tell the ummah, if there is a shortage of anything today, agar koi cheez ki kami hai to rone wale ki kami hai. If there is a shortage of anything today, it is a shortage of people that are crying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah ta'ala loves this crying, to shed tears, to beg from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to humble oneself before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Maulana Sulaiman Sahib, down Barakatuh, he says, when a man raises his hands in dua, between his fingers and his lips, there is no one else but Allah. He's talking to Allah. And when it comes to talking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they say this is the actual maqam and place of tawadu and humility. To say to Allah ta'ala that, Ya Allah, I am nothing and you are everything. I am the lowest of the low, the most impure of the impure, and you are the purest of the pure, and you are the highest of the high. To humble oneself, to negate oneself, to finish oneself in dua, where you negate yourself completely and you affirm Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's greatness. This is what we see resplendent in the du'as of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that Nabi Pak sallallahu alayhi wa sallam taught us. Unfortunately today, if you look at the type of du'as we make, even those that make dua, if you look at people after salah sometimes, person raises his hand, Allamal Sulaiman, just mumbles a few things. And then he wipes his face, he stands up. We haven't understood what is dua. If you take this word dua and translate it, it is supplication, you are asking. And if somebody has to ask you something in that way, you'll get upset, you'll get angry. That's how you ask. Like the saying is, Hum to mail bakaram hai, koi sa'il hi nahi. Allah is waiting. Allah is waiting. Allah wants us to turn towards Him. Masih Khan Sahib Rahmatullah Alayhi used to say that the proof of how much of yaqeen and conviction you have, the proof of how much of conviction and yaqeen you have that Allah is listening to you is the type of dua that you make. We say Allah is Samir, Allah is listening. And then Allamal Sulaiman, we're just mumbling something. Somebody who is mumbling something in dua does not have the conviction in his heart that Allah is listening to him.